Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast.
The world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk. This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Matt Stone joins us to talk about his book, DeLorean, The Rise, Fall, and Second Acts of the DeLorean Motor Company. I'm interested in second acts. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. David Ainsley is going to be busy at our remote broadcast for October, because I think every weekend but one we are out and about.
Well, yes, that's correct.
Well, he emailed. He says, hey, he's looking forward to it. Yeah. Did you get the email?
I did, yeah.
So, David,
believe it or not,
David will make it happen.
Internet works.
It does.
In the house.
Yeah.
It works out here, too, if we can get connected to it. Oh, I'm sorry. My Tourette's is acting up again.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So let us talk right now with our guest this hour. His name is Matt Stone. Matt, good morning to you.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Matt has written a book called DeLorean, The Rise, Fall, and Second Acts of the DeLorean Motor Company. Now, you're not the only one that has written a book about it, because I'll tell you this. The story behind John DeLorean is truly amazing. Very successful man with General Motors for decades. Went on and to build his own car that we all know from Back to the Future and other things. It really is an iconic car now. Matter of fact, they're fixing up the old ones, and they've come out with a new one. So let's talk about the book, Matt, and what motivated you to write the book?
To me, guys, this is the story that you think you knew, but you probably don't. You know, everybody knows little bits and pieces of it, but it has been some number of years before anybody has written a comprehensive book about the guy, the car, the company, the life, the movies, the bust, all of that. And as you know, and you mentioned, there have been a number of books over time. Honestly, a couple of them are pretty good. Some of them, not so much. But a lot has happened somewhat recently. And it just kind of felt, and there were some anniversaries involved here too, but I just felt it was time to take a new, fresh, journalistic, holistic, overall look at the DeLorean sphere, because it's been a long time since anybody's done it.
And give me a brief overview, if you will, in 60 seconds, so everybody knows who we're talking about here, and John DeLorean. Of course, famous for the DeLorean Motor Car Company, but he has a long history with General Motors and a very successful one.
Indeed. He is a Detroit-born guy, born of a kind of a hard-scrabble, lower-middle-class life in Detroit. And grew up and went to school, an engineering school, and became an engineer. And right out of school, he went to work, and he spent time with Packard. Remember them?
I do, yes.
And before joining General Motors, and joined the General Motors Pontiac division, and had a long career with General Motors from the 50s until almost the 70s, and it was an interesting ride for him all the way. He was somewhat the rebel, somewhat the outcast, and didn't always like the way things worked at General Motors, but was able to work within and sometimes without the system. And brought a lot of innovation and development and good things to Pontiac. Most widely recognized as one of the absolute fathers of the Pontiac GTO in 1964, which we all remember. And a fascinating guy. I mean, I've learned a lot about him in the year that I spent putting this together, and I knew a fair amount about him before, but it was an interesting ride. Just really learning more and learning deeper about what this guy accomplished, and then where things didn't go as well as one might have hoped. But a serious car guy, interesting personality, and he said he was going to build a very special, unique sports car in all the world, and he did. Put his name on the building, put his name on the door, and then it kind of all went pear-shaped a little bit, and unfortunately wound to an end in 1980, in the early 1980s, 1983. Was about the end of it for what we knew as the DeLorean Motor Company, and he passed away in about 2000, I guess, at the age of 80. And it's just a fascinating ride if you love automotive history stories.
What really stands out in your mind that you found out that most people hadn't heard of before?
Wow, there's a whole lot of stuff. I think, boy, that's tough. That is a tough question. I think a lot of people aren't aware, and I'm coming nearer the end of the story and answering your questions, that when that entire FBI, DEA sting brought him down and ultimately helped close down the company and everything else, and there was the big trial here in Los Angeles, which was front page news when I was watching it, is that of all of the charges leveled against him, he was acquitted, 100% acquitted of every charge in the whole drug bust thing. And I'll just as proof of life, here it is.
Yeah, I think if you want
to, a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, he was guilty of drug trafficking." He was not, or not found guilty anyway. And like I said, living here in Southern California as a car guy, we watched that whole thing every day, and it was fascinating. A lot of people are not even aware of the fact that he was acquitted, even though it ultimately equaled his personal and business failure.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is the fact is, from what he said and from what I have heard, that all he was trying to do was to save his company.
Yes, and I believe that. And unfortunately, he was so desperate for that. He kind of fell in with some bad actors. One in particular, who was his neighbor at a property he owned here in San Diego County, James Hoffman, who was a really bad dude, and also a FBI informant on drug trafficking, who worked really hard to try to curry favor with the FBI and the DEA for lighter sentences and such. And, John was just kind of telling him his woes. And one day, this guy, a light bulb went off and said, "Ooh, I can use this to my advantage." So he went to the folks at the FBI and said, "Hey, I think we can land a fish." And that's what they tried to do.
So that's all in the book?
Yes.
Okay, let me focus a minute on the actual DeLorean Motor Company, in the fact that at first there was a lot of flash about the car because it was, gull wing doors, it was affordable, and all of the things that attracted people to it, but it didn't resonate with a lot of people. What was it in particular that prevented the sales, the big sales of the cars that he really was depending on to keep the company afloat? Was it the engine? Was it the poor performance? Did he have to make sacrifices within the car that didn't resonate with people? What was the problem?
A lot of answers to that question. I am convinced summarily that the company just didn't have enough of everything needed to really do the job, whether that was time, R&D, money, luck, political environment, circumstances. At the time, the the early 80s, there was a lot of financial, it wasn't quite depression, but there was a lot of recession in various aspects of the market, in the car market. And then certainly some of it was due to the car. I think everybody just wanted, because of those exotic features and looks, everybody expected a Ferrari. It was going to run as fast as a Ferrari or whatever.
Right.
And I think that the car just being of moderate performance, although they're actually quite lovely to drive, and I've driven several of them, it never kind of met everybody's expectations. Being that expectation real or not, it just kind of never met everybody's hopes and expectations for the car. And just didn't have enough of everything to get where it needed to be.
Well, I guess one of the things that is interesting to me is that about that same time, or shortly thereafter, the debut of the DMC, that General Motors came out with the Fiero, a little two-seat sports car that it too was underpowered. It looked really good, but I would like to place it in competition as far as performance is concerned in the same basket. I think that a lot of people, and myself included, when they first saw it, I thought, oh, this is a Corvette killer. And as it turned out, it wasn't. So there were a lot of, I guess, preconceived notions about the car being a performer that it never lived up to, and it was kind of disappointing. I will say that even to this day, the stainless steel thing was truly amazing, and matter of fact, so much so that we know of a car manufacturer that has come out with a stainless steel pickup truck. And so that wasn't that far-fetched if you look at it in retrospect, but it really was a wow factor for the vehicle. So there were a lot of things that were positive about it, but a lot of things that were negative about it. And the fact that he built the thing over in Ireland because they gave him money to build the factory there, thinking that it was going to be a real success, and as it turned out, it was a huge failure.
Well, during a tumultuous time there in Ireland too, with the wars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
So I guess all of that is in your book.
Oh yeah, I outline and go through all of this stuff. Tumultuous times in Belfast. That word doesn't even cover it.
Well,
it was just crazy political environment there, and wars and bombings. And I mean, I've got pictures in the book of streets and buildings on fire. I mean, this was a very volatile place to do it, because of course they had before at that time was about 30%. Think of that number, 30% unemployment in Northern Ireland, in Belfast. And everybody was on the government dole, and about all they had time to do was fight. So naturally, the British government really wanted to solve this problem, and had lots and lots of money to throw at it. And they did, as you said, they financed DeLorean to a great extent, with the intent of putting local people back to work. And it fascinates me that for many of the guys and gals that went to work at DeLorean, other than, kind of freelancing as a painter or a plumber, or whatever little side work they could put together, this was their first real job. Think about that.
Yeah.
Guys in their 20s, 30s, 40s had never held a job up until the time they went to work and training at DeLorean. That to me is fascinating. College? They didn't go to college. A lot of them didn't finish high school. So for so many of these employees, it was their first job. Wow. That's kind of mind-blowing. And they could actually go to work at a clean, beautiful factory, be trained, and put food on their table.
Quite an opportunity. So, Matt, let me ask you, what do you think that sales look like for your book? We're trying to help you here, and all I could think of was timing is pretty good. We got Christmas coming up, great Christmas gift. How many pages in the book?
Well, let's just see.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah. One, two,
three.
I know how many I typed.
Yeah. And it wound up being
191.
Oh, we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
As long as the type isn't too small where I can't read it.
We sell the magnifying glasses.
Cheaters.
Just for gray hairs like us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I assume that it is available everywhere, including Amazon?
Yes. Yeah, its technical publication date is September 17th. But they are in warehouses right now, and they're taking orders, and we'll be filling them here in another week or so. So you could buy publisher direct from motorbooks.com or Corto.com, whatever they call it these days. But Amazon, absolutely. And certainly all the automotive bookstores like Auto Books out here in Burbank, California will sell it. And it should be pretty widely available for the usual automotive book titles, yeah.
Wonderful.
You live in Burbank?
I do not. I currently live in Camarillo, California, which is right next to Ventura.
Okay.
But used to live in Glendale, which was next to beautiful downtown
Burbank.
There's a highway in Ventura.
Yeah, Ventura Highway. That's it.
101.
Matt Stone, it's a pleasure and honor to talk to you, and we look forward to reading your book, DeLorean, The Rise and Fall and Second Acts of the DeLorean Motor Company. Thanks again for getting up and joining us today here in Houston, Texas.
That's okay. I was actually up hours ago.
Were you?
My nephew got married in Prague.
Oh.
Which meant I was watching the live stream at 6 o'clock this morning Pacific time.
Well,
so it's okay.
What a way to start the day.
Looking and waiting for you.
Well, that's perfect. Well, thank him for us.
Congratulations to him.
To get you up out of the bed.
There you go.
We appreciate it. Matt, talk to you again soon. Thanks again.
You bet, guys. Anytime, I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com.
We do.
And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana? The Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thank you for joining us today on our live version every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. That's what we got lined up for you every week. As a matter of fact, we're going to throw a little caveat into that.
Ooh, I like caveats.
Do you?
Yeah.
They taste good, don't they?
With mustard. Yeah.
Mustard. Okay. I like mine with
That's
horseradish mustard.
Oh, there you go. Horsey sauce.
Yeah, I like
spicy
that.
touch.
Yeah, just like me. So here are some of the things that we've got lined up for remote broadcasts. We're on the September 28th. We're going to be at Woody's Waterfront Custom Car Show in San Leon, Texas.
Oh boy.
As opposed
Some people
to
call it
Leon.
There's no such thing except in France. On the 12th of October, we're going to be at the
That place.
Space City. Shh. Here, you want to do it?
No.
I'm just trying to get you started.
We're laughing with you.
Space City Corvette Club at Stevenson Park in Friendswood. That's a big car show. It's not just Corvettes. It's a great show.
Open.
Yeah, open car show.
We're going to be sponsored by Emmons Autoplex
There you
for
go.
the broadcast.
Emmons Autoplex is going to sponsor us, and we're really excited about that. October the 19th, Spring Branch High School Museum car show.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be surprised at that. You are going to make it a point. I told you she's got to take you.
You keep pointing
through a
that
tour.
pin at me.
I know. That's some.
Like, I'm telling you, you are going to love that museum as much as you like all your nostalgic stuff. It made me wish that my high school would have done that because I got grandkids going to graduate this
You
year.
can't fit anything else in your garage.
No, the high school.
And your
The
high school was
museum.
one room for all the grades, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Now they got 2 rooms, but they could have made one of them into a museum. You're going to be impressed at what these people have done with this. You're going to like
So
it.
mark it on your calendar. That's going to be October the 19th, Spring Branch High School Museum Car Show in Spring Branch, Texas. Right up the road. Then on November the 9th, we're going to be out at the Hemi Hideout. And that is open to the public. $10 to get you in. John matches the $10 and gives it to the local charities there
Now, is that
in Brookshire.
cash or can you debit card? Or
No, it is cash only.
I need to make that clear.
Yeah. And then Thanksgiving weekend, we'll be back at Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center. So we'll hope to see you at one of those, if not multiple
Our
times.
fall tour.
Our fall
the road
fall
again.
tour.
We're going
Love
to have
that.
shirts made up. You
There you go. Fall tour.
The In Wheel Time Fall
I know
Tour.
a guy.
Yeah, that's right. like the Pink Floyd tour.
Yes, exactly.
us. All right, time now for the racing calendar,
Yes.
sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you, Texas Muscle Car. NASCAR, we are in the Cup playoffs, and you've got the Xfinity's running today. The Cup guys are running tomorrow. It is on at 3 p.m. on USA Network. Mike tickets are still available.
Yeehaw.
You betcha. Now, on the 13th, which is coming up next week, you've got Formula One. They're going to be in Qatar, the Qatar Airways Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Azerbaijan.
They're going to be there, too.
That.
They're going to be there as well.
Kind of
it's
next to San Leon.
It's at the Baku City Circuit. That's the track that they're going to be
Okay.
at. IMSA is going to be in Indianapolis at the end of this month. And we've got NHRA's actually going to be in their countdown championship. The TV schedule is going to be September 15th, so it's a little bit farther off. It's going to be the Pep Boys NHRA Nationals in Reading, Pennsylvania. To be determined on the network, but it's
I've
going
been
to
to
be at 2
Reading,
p.m.
Pennsylvania, the
Yep.
drag strip there, and that's an interesting part of the country.
Yep, sure
Went
is.
out to eat one night, and the Amish were there eating with us.
Oh, boy.
It was an interesting place.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's
They have a
cool.
lot of full-service sit-down restaurants up there. Mom-and-pop restaurants.
Yeah.
Very nice. Food was great. It was just very different from
Yeah.
what we experienced down here.
When I was with Keystone, Pennsylvania, it's in Pennsylvania, the headquarters, and
Joe Amato still live up there?
yeah, it does. Yeah, nice place. Anyways, you would be like driving down your street here. One of the houses would actually be a restaurant,
Yeah, that's very common.
and
up
you
there.
just park, pull up in the driveway, and go in there and eat. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it is. It was pretty crazy.
All right. Time now for This Week in Auto History. Mr. Mars has that.
This week, we found a few things that are pretty interesting. September the 1st, 1923. The first car equipped with a radio.
God, I remember that just like yesterday.
I'm sure
That's
you
your
do.
car.
It was a Chevrolet. It was introduced at the Minnesota State Fair, but it was not a nice small box that fit into the dashboard. It needed a lot of room. The antenna literally covered the roof. It
And
had
don't
the
forget
test
about the tubes.
Yes,
Oh,
they had
yeah.
the test tubes that were in there.
Not test tubes.
Not the test tubes.
No,
the,
they're just actual tubes, vacuum tubes.
Vacuum tubes.
You're
That-
thinking of the 7-Eleven store that you used to go
in
to.
and plug them in
Yes,
and test them. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or that meth lab.
The speakers were so big they had to be attached to the back of the seats, and the batteries to power the setup would barely fit underneath the seat. And the upcoming automotive, like AAA and all those guys that were developing those associations, they were concerned over distracted driving from listening to the music.
They ought to
not
be
paying
living
attention.
today, huh?
That's what I thought. All right, September the 2nd, the National Corvette Museum opens to the public this day in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
That's a very interesting Corvette
did I
that
miss
you've
something,
got
Mike?
there.
Oh, that's the antenna on top of the car.
Oh, that was the antenna.
I got you. There you go.
Yeah, there's the museum. Now, this has been home for the production of the Chevrolet Corvette since 1981.
Not at the museum, but in the factory next door.
Well, Bowling Green. Collection of all the sports cars includes a display of the catastrophic sinkhole, and it swallowed 8 of the museum's prized cars. The National Corvette Museum that we talked about last week, their caravan, happens every 5 years as part of the anniversary celebration where thousands of cars show up, Corvettes show up to celebrate in the Corvette. September the 3rd, 1964, the first Ford Mustang convertible rolled off the assembly line. Now, to decrease the development cost of the Mustang, they used the chassis and suspension and drivetrain from the Ford Falcon and the Fairlane. They did all this to cut down on cost because of the Falcon frame and the welded box section side rails. Now, although the hardtop Mustangs accounted for the highest sales, durability programs with the new frame led to the engineering of convertibles first to ensure there was adequate stiffness in the car. They did not know they built the convertible first. September the 5th, 1960. The Land Rover Series 1 made the U.S. debut. The Land Rover was conceived by the Rover Company in 1947 during the aftermath of World War II. Before the war, Rover produced luxury cars. Of course, after the war, those were not in demand, and raw materials were strictly rationed to companies building construction or industrial equipment or products that could be exported to earn foreign exchange. So Rover's original factory had also been bombed, so it didn't even exist. This was launched at the Amsterdam Motor Show. It was designed for farm and light industrial use with a steel box section chassis and aluminum body due to steel shortages. Now, if you look at that car, it looks a whole lot like something else, like a Jeep. They did that intentionally because they came home from the war. They needed something that was cheap and easy to build, flat panels, no wavy designs or anything, but just nice, flat, easy.
They stole the design from the Bantam Motor Company.
Yes, they did.
Queen of England.
And it worked.
Drove one.
Yeah, she loved her.
Yeah, she loved hers.
But back to the Mustang story. I watched yesterday very interesting Jay Leno's Garage, and Bill Ford, yes, Ford Motor Company, Bill Ford, brought Jay the original, real honest-to-God pace car for the Indy 500 in 1964, the Mustang. And he was talking about the modifications that they had to do to it in a very short period of time because the original V8 Mustang could not do 140 miles an hour, which is the minimum requirement to pace the Indy 500. So they took that engine out, and Holman Moody put a race engine in it. They had to detune it because the Ford Mustang was not capable, the frame, to be able to hold all of that power and get it down to the ground. So all of the modifications, it's a fascinating 35-minute show on the Mustang and pacing the Indy 500. You know who won the Indy 500 that year? That would have been A.J. Foyt. But this particular car was not always in Bill Ford's collection of Fords, but it was owned by somebody else that had paced the car. It was a complicated story that he explained very well, and it's I couldn't stop watching it.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. Jay has lost a lot of weight. You know, he lost his wife not too long ago, and
he had that accident.
Yeah. The fire and all of that. So, but it was a fascinating interview, and Jay drove the car, 4-speed manual transmission in it, all white, and with a white convertible top. And it had the blue racing stripe in the middle of it. That's a Ford thing, and he explains it in that. It was truly, all of our listeners would love to see that. Go to YouTube and look up Jay Leno's Garage and the Ford Mustang 1964 pace car.
I found it.
I have to do that.
I found it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's very good. All right. Let's take a quick break, shall we?
Okay.
We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Quick break now. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us at your favorite provider. Back in a minute.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show brings you great guest interviews each week from manufacturers and suppliers to the aftermarket, racers, enthusiasts, and other friends just like you and me who love to talk about all things automotive. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show takes it to the road, too, with remotes at Tailpipes and Tacos, Woody's Waterfront Car Show, and the Hemi Hideout. In Wheel Time's live video and audio stream can be found on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon Central Time, or grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.